A lot of my photos have a fairly similar overall compositional style. There's usually one particular subject and then maybe a blurry background or some foreground elements. And they're not complicated. I don't really do artsy photos. Just kind of simple, basic photography with a clear subject. This picture is a little different because you might think, well, the subject is these bison. But in my mind, that's not really the case. The subject is the entire photo. Like the bison are one element, or I guess two elements, I guess, since there's two bison, but they're parts of the entire composition. This doesn't work without any of the component pieces. So if it's just the bison without the mountains in the background, then it's not an interesting photo. If it's the mountains and the trees without the bison in the foreground, it's not a good photo. If it's the mountains and the bison without the trees, it's not a good photo. And like everything has to be in place. Even the sky, there's no clouds in the sky. If it was a bright sunny day with a lot of clouds, it just wouldn't work. All of these individual pieces together form the whole. And that's what I really like about this photo. This was in the Wichita Mountains, the wildlife refuge that's kind of in southwest, maybe south central Oklahoma. I'm not sure how you define it, but it's. I took this, I think, the next day after I took the previous week's photo, like the lizard that you saw last week. This was the next day of our trip. And we got up kind of an early start, and we saw, as we're driving towards the Elk Mountain hiking trail that we were going to go on, we saw this herd of bison. So we pulled over in the car and just kind of watched them for a while. And my instinct was, well, I'm going to zoom in on a bison and get a photo of this bison really close. And I did, but I thought, well, that's not a very interesting photo, just a photo of a bison. So I turned to the side and saw these two bison grazing, and that's kind of when it hit me. I could use the bison as elements for a bigger composition. One thing that I don't know if it certainly wasn't planned, but I like it about this photo. I took several, probably 20 just like this. In this one, it looks like there's a sense of movement. The one on the left is maybe not moving quite as much. It's just got its head down. But the one on the right looks like it's moving intentionally across the frame, and its head isn't quite down on the ground like the way the other one is. You can even see the tail on the one on the right. And the fact that one on the right conveys a sense of movement and purpose adds a little extra bit to this photo. I'm really glad I got to take this photo. We've been to the Wichita Mountains many times, and I don't think I've ever taken a photo quite like this. So it was really fun to get up early and see a different type of scene that we would normally see at the Wichita Mountains.